September 5th is a 2024 historical drama film, directed, co-produced and co-written by Tim Fehlbaum. Starring Peter Sarsgaard, John Magaro, Ben Chaplin and Leonie Benesch, the film chronicles the Munich massacre of 1972 from the perspective of the ABC sports crew and their coverage of the events. The film premiered at the 81st Venice International Film Festival on the 29th of August 2024 and then was released in select cinemas in the United States by Paramount Pictures and Republic Pictures on December 13th, 2024 and expanded wide on January 17th, 2025. It would receive positive reviews from critics and several accolades, including nominations for Best Original Screenplay at the 97th Academy Awards and Best Motion Picture Drama at the 82nd Golden Globe Awards. The Munich massacre was a terrorist attack during the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich, West Germany, carried out by 8 members of the Palestinian militia organization Black September. The militants infiltrated the Olympic Village, killed 2 members of the Israeli Olympic team, and took 9 other Israeli team members hostage. Those hostages were later also killed by the militants during a failed rescue attempt. Black September commander and negotiator Latif Atif named Operation Irkat and Baram after 2 Palestinian Christian villages whose inhabitants were expelled by Israel during the 1948 Palestinian War. Intelligence files suggested some of the West German neo-Nazis may have assisted Black September in the 1972 Munich massacre, though the extent of their involvement remains debated to this day. Shortly after the hostages were taken, Atif demanded the release of a significant number of Palestinians and non-Arab prisoners held in Israel, as well as one of the West German imprisoned founders of the Red Army faction, Ulrike Meinhof. The list included 328 detainees. West German police from the Bavarian State Police ambushed the terrorists, killing 5 of the 8 Black September members, but the rescue attempt failed, resulting in the deaths of all of the hostages. The West German police officer was also killed in the crossfire. The West German government faced criticism for rescue attempt and its handling of the incident. The 3 surviving perpetrators were arrested but were released the following month in a hostage exchange after the hijacking of Lufthansa Flight 615. By then, the Israeli government had launched an assassination campaign which authorized Mossad to track down and kill anyone who had played a role in the attack. 2 days before the start of the 2016 Olympic Summer Games in Rio de Janeiro, Brazilian and Israeli officials led a ceremony where the International Olympic Committee honored the 11 Israelis and 1 German killed at Munich. During the 2020 Summer Olympics held in Tokyo, a moment of silence was observed in the opening ceremony. Some trivia facts. All of the live footage of the siege and the studio presentation and interviews is the original footage as broadcast by ABC during the crisis, taken directly from their archives. The film deftly interweaves actual footage of ABC reporter Jim McKay's actual coverage of the events on the day itself. This helped cement McKay as a leading light in sports and news reporting. Ironically, September 5th was supposed to be his day off. He ended up being on air for 14 hours without a break. John Magaro, who plays Jeffrey Morris in the film, was actually an extra in Steven Spielberg's similarly themed film Munich, released in 2005. Likewise, Peter Sarsgaard did a table read for a part in that film, which he didn't get. Kevin MacDonald's Oscar-winning 1999 documentary One Day in September, released in 1999, covers the same events, as does Steven Spielberg's 2005 film Munich. Juliette Binoche worked in the casting department for both this film and Munich. Screenwriter for this film, Moritz Binder, hails from the actual city of Munich. Sean Penn acts as one of the film's producers, and stars Peter Sarsgaard previously starred with him in Dead Man Walking, which was also Sarsgaard's film's debut back in 1995. Cinematographer Marcus Forderer used vintage lenses from the time for authenticity purposes. Director Fehlbaum and his team spent months researching the events and worked with the production design team to create an authentic replica of the broadcasting facility used by ABC Sports on that day. Peter Sarsgaard plays Arun Aldledge, who was an American sports news broadcasting executive who was president of ABC Sports from 1968 to 1986 and ABC News from 1977 to 1998, and played a key part in the company's rise to competition with the 2 other major television networks in the United States, namely NBC and CBS. The Toronto International Film Festival rejected the film because it might generate controversy related to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Despite the screening of the documentary Russians at War, whose portrayal of the Russians' invasion of Ukraine did result in protests, which led to the festival pulling the film. Now, September 5th is a taut and immersive historical drama that delves into the 1972 Munich Olympic hostage crisis from the perspective of the ABC Sports broadcasting team. Rather than focusing on the terrorists or victims, the film centers on ethical and logistical challenges faced by the journalists as they navigate the complexities of live television during this global crisis. The film's strength lies in its meticulous recreation of the 1970s television newsroom, capturing the urgency and improvisation required to broadcast live during an unfolding tragedy. The ABC's team's efforts to maintain the continuous coverage, including innovative techniques like sending cameras into the field and smuggling film into the Olympic Village, are portrayed with authenticity and detail. This approach transforms the film into a suspenseful procedural, highlighting the behind-the-scenes challenges of journalism during a crisis. And don't forget, of course, the ABC were there to report on the Olympics, a sporting event, not some breaking news crisis. I also found the film does not shy away from exploring the moral ambiguities faced by journalists. The decision to broadcast unverified information and the subsequent realization of the hostages' fate raise poignant questions about the responsibilities of the media in such situations. While the film's focus on procedural aspects may limit its emotional depth, it effectively conveys the tension and ethical complexities inherent in live reporting. I also found the film really captures the high intensity and demanding nature of an unfolding story, as you always have to be that one step ahead, be responsible, make the right call at the right time, yet to report the story as it's unfolding. For me, the cast delivers some absolutely compelling performances, with Peter Sarsgaard portraying ABC sports chief Roone Aldridge and John Magaro as the determined producer Mason. Leonie Benesch and Ben Chaplin also contribute very strong performances, adding depth to this ensemble piece. I definitely feel like a film like this should have received more attention at the major award ceremonies. Also, the film is very fast-paced, tight, and doesn't overstay its welcome. At just 90 minutes, it really makes its points very briskly. September 5th offers a unique and thought-provoking perspective on a pivotal moment in history, namely the issues between Israel and Palestine, which is an ongoing conflict to this day. It also emphasizes the role of media in shaping public perception during a crisis. It blends historical accuracy, ethical inquiry, and suspenseful storytelling, making it a compelling watch for those interested in the intersection of journalism and history. September 5th gets a 9 out of 10.